There's only but a few at the bottom we can follow. Who possesses the will to win? Stay 10 toes down, even when the stream begins to thin. What does that actually look like? Hush money. Help us save humanity. Money over negative entities, you dig? Now come join in on this conversation we're about to have with Chris here in this shared space of respect and gratitude. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having
To
me.
share your honest opinions, because they do matter. So does growth, with the ability to agree to disagree. Hush Money welcomes you.
Thank you, bro.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
God,
Good.
you know what, man? It's been years since I seen you,
Been
man.
a hot minute.
Yeah. So you retired now, right?
Retired from both professions.
Okay, all right. How that feel?
Lovely.
Good.
I highly recommend.
Yeah. You
Highly
know what, man?
recommend.
I saw you on some lives though. Your team was the Commanders, wasn't it?
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Big
you gonna
fact.
go hard for them. Yeah. What you feel about what just happened though?
I'm pretty excited.
Oh yeah.
We didn't make the Super Bowl, but we made it way further than I think
That's
anybody
true.
thought we could.
I was one of them.
So
Yeah, for real. I gotta commend. Give credit where credit is due. But I did not want y'all to go nowhere.
Well, I mean, when change is good. They changed the front office. You
Right.
got guys up there now that has a vision of where they want their organization to go,
Right.
and you're getting right people on the right bus so they can go from good to great.
Right.
And
Right.
it's just kind of a thing in life.
Yeah, that's true though. That is real true. Well, let's just start this whole thing off, man. To tell us a little bit about yourself, man, as a kid growing up, man.
So I grew up in Morganton, actually up in Glen Alpine, which is west of Morganton. There were 7 of us, 3 girls and 4 boys. I'm next to the baby.
All right.
Grew up tough.
Okay.
Had a mother, had a father. My father was alcoholic, so I mean he really wasn't influenced in my life.
Okay.
My mom was influenced.
But you did have both parents in your life, though.
Yes.
Yes. So I guess to his credibility though that he stuck around. Still, was that something that you see
Yeah.
was
I mean, he was there to
beneficial?
he was there to kick out the discipline part, but
Yeah,
not
no
the
doubt.
reward part.
No doubt. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you know what? That's most of what we as men are, though. We are the disciplinarians.
We are disciplinary.
I feel like women miss that at these days and times now. For real, for real.
Right.
Our children are really not being disciplined. That's my baby too
It's a
much.
fact.
So what got you into like the military? What made you want to go to the military?
So I always wanted to be a soldier. Always
Okay.
wanted to be a cop.
hmm
So even when we were little, like my oldest brother, he retired from the Hickory Fire Department.
All right.
So whenever we were little, we'd have to tag off and play cops and robbers.
Okay.
I was a cop, and then when we'd have to play fire.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but in the military, I don't know. I think we are put on this earth with a plan,
Okay.
and because certain things come real easy. Like for me, example, mechanical stuff, I don't have a clue. I don't. I'm not good at turning wrenches.
No doubt.
But like the army and law enforcement, it was easy. I was
Right.
waiting to see when it ever got hard, and
Right.
it didn't. So, being in the army was always a dream.
Okay.
So
You did tours. Where you?
I did.
Where you been?
So I did a total of 27 years, active in reserve, Fort Bragg, Fort Jackson, Fort Campbell, been to Korea, um, Honduras, Afghanistan. That was my last tour was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Um, I was a drill sergeant for 3 years. That was another sub goal inside the army. I wanted, to always aspire to be a drill instructor and a first sergeant. So I met all those goals. Actually exceeded those goals.
Okay. Well, shoot, you can't beat that, then. Shoot, especially if you exceeded your goals.
Yeah. I
Okay.
actually retired sergeant major, which is the E9, because you have from E1 to E9 in the military, and E9 is as high as you can go on the enlisted side.
Okay. Okay.
So you can go to different billets,
Right.
i.e., you may become a 3-star billet. So you be a sergeant major, senior enlisted advisor to the commander at a general staff level. So
my son in the military right now.
that's outstanding.
Yeah, he's an IT tech, and Yeah.
That's all right.
Very, very smart.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, he is though for
Well,
real.
the military for me was a platform to get out. That
Yeah,
was my out.
yeah.
That was my out in Morganton and Burke County. You
Right.
know what I'm
No doubt.
saying?
Yeah, 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 for
Uh,
sure.
I was ROTC in high school
Mm-hmm.
because I was a little guy. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, junior high football was the last football for me because when I got to high school, it was like everybody hit that growth spurt with me.
Right.
So I got an ROTC and just really enjoy that. But I knew that if I complete 3 years of that, I
Mm-hmm.
go in as a E3 instead of E1. So
Okay.
I'm starting to think at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing, but hey, bro, I can go in and make a little more money than.
Right, right, right. Another question is, um, when you became a police officer, right?
Mhm.
Did you choose what district or where it was that you wanted to?
So the only reason I got the Army in 1990 was to be a state trooper.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And back then there wasn't uh, black troopers or black applicants had to be the cream of the cream of the cream.
Right, right.
So if you had any little blemish,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't get the letter saying you're coming to this school.
Mm-hmm.
So you never knew why.
Right, right.
Went down to Raleigh, done the physical assessment,
Mm-hmm.
mental, all that stuff was good. So then I was like, they did send a letter that thank you for your application, but
Uh,
we're
yeah.
not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, bro, I'm going back in the Army because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get out to. Uh, I worked at a text mill for a minute, till
Mm-hmm.
everything happened, and then I was like, bro, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But then Lenore Police Department, shortly after Rodney King, um, I seen an advertisement, applied, and got
Mm-hmm.
hired.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny that it was three black guys that got hired and sent to the academy down in Salemburg at the North Carolina Justice Academy. They ain't never sent anybody.
Oh,
So it's a military structured environment.
right, right.
I don't know if
Those
they
are
thought I was going to fail, but
right, right.
that was right down my alley.
Yeah, definitely.
But my two battle buddies, one was weak in academics, one was weak in PT, but collectively we kept each other because we drive up and down the road 12.
Mhm.
It was 12 weeks, so we come home on the weekend, so we had a lot of time to discuss things, and
Right,
but
right,
yeah, so we got each other through,
right.
and
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Um, Now this is something I want to know, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of black people that really want to know this.
right.
Is there a certain type of training that police officers get to train to handle this community, despite of this community? Like for instance, it's like, is there a training? Is there a specific type of way that they, police are aimed to be in the black community, but not in the white community?
It's a great
And could
question.
you ask why though? Because I got statistics after that. So
Right.
that's
It's a great question. Um, and I'll preface it by saying this:
mm-hmm,
cops are pulled from society.
right.
So this kid may, whoever applies, how they were brought up with those values inside their home,
Mm-hmm,
it doesn't when you take that oath of office, it doesn't take it away.
mm-hmm,
Surprisingly, a lot of people have never been exposed to other cultures.
right.
And what you find is those guys who've been in the military that apply to be police officers are fairly culturally diverse.
Mm-hmm,
So everybody goes through cultural diversity training that was instituted by the Department of Justice,
okay.
following the Rodney King thing, and
Mm-hmm,
then other reports of racist behavior in those power positions have been going on for years.
and the air.
It's just the cameras started catching it.
That's right. Exactly.
And then the American people, um, just like we're not going to stand for that. That's not
Mm-hmm,
who it's representative of.
right.
So everybody goes through
Okay.
diversity training
Mm-hmm,
because I think we know now that everybody doesn't come from a diverse household,
mm-hmm,
and you don't know. You only know what you know
right. Right.
until you get out here in the world and
Mm-hmm,
open your mind and
right.
be open minded.
True.
One of my best partners was Mark Jerome. Mark hailed from New Jersey, was raised up there, lived in Florida, was cop there. Me and this guy just, I mean, we just hit it off. And he was a staple in the community. They always say there goes Chris and Jerome, or Chris and Turbo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he really embraced, he just treated.
Oh, we recording? Hi guys, this is Mr. Stay Fresh on Have to Get Fresh, host of the H.U.S.H podcast, Run, asking everyone, please like, subscribe, and share it to all our major platforms. It'd be truly appreciated. Thanks.
People like,
Right.
you know,
Well, to you though, Hickory was totally different way back in them days. Could you give us a little display of what you experienced as a police officer?
So when I came to Hickory in 1992,
Right.
nobody really knew me because
No.
I never hung here.
Right. Exactly.
So, and I think that's a plus
And it was for real.
to not police where you're from.
That's exactly right.
So, when I came here, I had, some good guys. Trip,
Yeah.
Trip was another great guy who just really, embraced the community. Merle Hampton, who was our commander, uh, great guy who, just was really diverse. And so that unit was handpicked.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, when I come, I kind of studied my environment, studied folk.
Right.
And for a while, I know I would just sit back. I wouldn't say anything. Just look, observe, and I'd ask Triplet, like, Trip, who's that? And then he kind of give me. I also carried a little notebook.
Oh, okay. Right.
And I'd write names and descriptors. So then when I did come out, um, it was pretty fun. It was wild. It was some scary times.
It was Hickory was real different.
But it was very
at that
different.
time I was young. I was
Yep.
Actually, I had been about 13 or 14.
Yeah.
When you first started coming into my life at the time.
Correct.
I know you knew me from the streets, just hanging out and being young. Also, I was Hickory High Star running back at the time too.
Yes, you were.
But one thing that I gotta say, I gotta commend you on is the conversation that you would give.
Right.
It ain't like you would just try to yank nobody up and whatnot. I know that you used to give some positive feedback. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I reached out to you and wanted you to come on, because everybody out here that's police officers aren't bad police. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I gotta really take my hat off to you for that. You know what I mean? My son even thought about it, and you was one of the ones I thought about at the time. Like, well, I do know some that was, what I mean, actually wasn't really like that. You know what I mean? As in what we predict. I'm gonna ask you a question though before I keep going on. Why do you think our community don't trust police though?
Well, it's a huge factor in the fact of police is probably one of the only professions where I am judged by the actions of somebody 1,000 miles away. And that's an unfair assessment. The other portion of the distrust of police is because the police were the enforcers of segregation back during the days of segregation. So the politicians used the cops as the enforcers of Jim Crow laws. So now you're talking generational levels of distrust passed on down. I mean, my mom and them like police. They respected. They didn't like them because even when your parents tell you to be home before the street lights come on, that wasn't because get home for
troubles. It was
it was because the Ku Klux Klan and there was law enforcement officers who were Klansmen would go around and lynch, kidnap, brutalize black people. So that's where I think the distrust come in. Then it's compounded by once we start seeing um, the brutality on video cameras. Then that just in the height, just makes it more and more. And until these police chiefs, and I think I'll definitely hats off to Chief Lucas that had the vision of community policing. To me, a lot of police departments just use that as a buzzword, where we were actually hey, you're going to work this same area. You're going to do this the same way. So, you know, then people got to know the Mark Tripletts, the Officer Chris's, the Turbos, um, the Thorpes. Like me, I coached ball. You know, hey, the way to get to the mamas that like you is coach their kids.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
it's true though.
and
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
that was and as a black officer, I felt that it was hard
hmm
because black people seen you a certain way, and the white people uptown seen you a certain way. Because
hmm
not everybody who wears that badge has the blindfold on as the Lady of Justice does.
mm
So,
Yeah, yeah, that's true though. Yeah. So, do you think that our kids should look forward or look to learning law enforcement?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, we I'm a great example, and there's many other. I mean, you got Bobby Lineberger, who is a first sergeant.
yeah. I should got trust with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this guy is a first sergeant.
hmm
Um, you've had me come through the range. Steve Hunt come through the range. Got Chief Sipe at
hmm
Newton, who's now the police chief. There's a lot of positives to it.
Right,
Um, it's a great career. I
right.
mean,
Because I know some kids, right? I don't know if I told you. I know I haven't. I'm really just now getting to talk to you. Talk to you. I have a nonprofit. And in my nonprofit, I had kids that want to study law. You know
right.
what I mean? And but it's the vision. It's everybody else uh, vision or view of law
hmm
that makes them like nervous on doing it. And I tell them all the time they should do it. We need more of our kids to be.
The only
You
way
know,
you can effectuate change is to be on the inside of an organization, put
right?
your thumbprint on.
hmm
You don't have to sell out to the status quo.
Right.
You be who you are, you be true to yourself.
hmm
And you go in there, for the right reason.
Right.
And then don't get caught in the okey doke.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
hmm
Um, and that right, here's my biggest thing. When I come into the community, in those times, street level drug dealing was the big thing, crack was a big thing. My thing was, what if my mama lived right there?
hmm
And especially around the Horseshoe and the
hmm
Drive, Eighth Avenue
hmm
Drive.
hmm
And I was like, what would I want somebody to do? So I took that, and every older lady in this community was my mother. So
hmm
you know, we gonna have peace and quiet on my watch. She gonna be able to sit out there in the
Mhm.
summertime and enjoy the breeze and
Right.
enjoy. That was kind of my mentality.
Okay.
So I was aggressive in the
hmm
enforcement action,
hmm
but also, I understood that when I'm not engaged in enforcement action, I'm gonna have a conversation with you
hmm
because there's a reason why these kids act like they act.
Yeah,
I
exactly
could
right.
have been
Yeah.
that kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I was a bad kid.
hmm
If my mama was alive today,
Right.
but it came a point in my life where I want to do something just to make my mama proud.
That's what's up.
You know,
You know,
so
a lot of us don't have that though. You know what I mean? A purpose.
hmm
And what I realize about me now mentoring other kids is they don't know their purpose or their passion. A lot of kids don't really know what they want to do. You know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do,
right.
so I understood this. I can latch on to them and see what it is that they're going through. You know what I mean?
hmm
But the acting out part, you know, I sit back and I just because I didn't understand why I acted out,
right.
as in the way that I done. And I'm still trying to figure that out, you know what I mean, for kids, like
hmm
what's the trigger points in our brains that I think it got a lot to do with our food.
right.
I, you know, it definitely is home training because for real,
The
everything
environment.
starts in the
Yeah, the
environment.
environment.
I had a seminar one time. I used to mentor with Chris Johnson with Young
Oh
Guns of
yeah,
Integrity, right?
yeah.
And I was asked, "Aren't you glad that Obama is president?" And it just flowed. I'm pretty sure that all black people are glad Obama the president, but Obama don't wake up in Ridgeview. You know,
Say that for the folk that
you
can't
know,
hear
you know
in
what I
the
mean?
back.
For real, man. I didn't watch doctors,
Right.
come over there. I didn't watch nothing
hmm
positive. Come, you know what I mean? Even if it was. They didn't come back.
Correct.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
100%.
that's the detrimental part is whenever, our kids don't see that. Because I believe that black people visual people. That's
Hmm.
why everything
Oh,
we
I'm
see
very
inside.
visual.
Oh,
Yeah,
I am too,
yeah, yeah.
So how do you feel about, the importance of having both parents in the house?
Oh, it's important because it takes a man. A woman can't raise a man.
I keep saying that.
I mean, she just can't.
It's true.
She nurtures. A woman can nurture a boy
Hmm.
until he starts into those stages of a man.
Right.
And it takes a man to raise a man in a positive,
Hmm.
in a positive.
Hmm.
Um, but then the women out there do the best they can because they don't have that positive. But then they want to become their buddies and condone the negative, the negatives in their life, man. So then that becomes detrimental. It's like I always equate the waves. If I dip my finger in a jar of water and there's a 5 gallon bucket of water and I let that one drip down, then it ripples.
Hmm. Hmm.
So um, we,
That's a good analogy.
I just don't
Hmm.
understand how we're going to get back because all the old grandmas and grandpas are dying away. Now you got 50. Well, I used to think 57 was old, but it ain't old.
Right, right,
But you
right.
got 40-some-year-old grandmothers and
Yes,
they're
sir.
trying to chill with their kids, and that's the
Yeah.
wrong answer.
Oh man. Oh man.
That's the wrong answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really trying to put a program together where instead of sending these kids to prison, send them through my program. I got a 10-step program I'm working on right now as we
Right.
speak. That these kids will have to complete. You know what I mean? If I get the county to send them through the program first. So just for that reason, there's not enough men.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for out there. Any men out there that's willing to give back and want to participate in this program, please contact me because they need it. We need it.
Now, don't get it twisted. Criminal justice system is a lucrative
Yeah,
organization.
that's the point, ain't it?
So,
But why make them rich?
that's,
You know?
I mean,
and statistics say that 75 to 80% that go in is a repeated offender.
recidivism.
You see what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's what I want to put a stop to it. Especially these adults, these grown people, their minds already made up. They
Hmm.
are who they are, but these kids got to have a chance,
And
man.
they're influential up to about 10.
Yep. Yep.
They are. You go in. If I went in a first grade, second K through fifth,
Mm-hmm.
probable sixth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and talk about my experiences and or my career, and ask how many of y'all want to be a police, those hands will go up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They will
Mm-hmm.
because the innocence of a child
That's
is
right.
still there.
And no judgmentals, none of that.
No judgmentals.
You're right.
But we start losing them at about the fifth grade.
Yep.
So the engagement really needs to start happening at fourth grade
You know
and early.
they say
And I'm not a smart guy. I'm
yeah,
just going off common sense.
it is common
I
sense.
mean,
Everything that we go through in life is common
it's
sense,
common
though.
sense.
You know, um, just been around kids all my life, right? 3 to about 8 years old. So you're right.
Hmm.
Is the most impressive time because they catch on to things
They
real
do.
fast. If you got garbage around them all the time, that's their life.
And 9 and 10 and 11, and you'll start seeing it seep out of them a
Yep.
little bit
Yep.
at age 8-ish, but they're still
Hmm.
innocent. They
Hmm.
still grasp onto that teacher
Hmm.
leg
Hmm.
because that's the most positive influence. These kids
Hmm.
don't want to go home to the fussing and the fighting and the
Hmm.
grind and the negative.
Hmm.
They really want to see that,
Hmm.
as humans, we crave a safe space.
Sure do.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep. Even as adults.
Right.
You
Oh,
right.
100%. But then it becomes a point where the influential times in your life from 10 to, let's say, 16, bro,
Hmm.
you got the green light to wild out. Well,
Hmm.
what you going to do? You're going to wild the hell out.
That's exactly right.
You're going to.
Yeah.
So that's where that male has to have that male
Hmm.
starting about that 10.
Hmm.
And, I see it in mine. I got a 13-year-old.
Hmm.
And, you know, Daddy, I'm sick. My stomach hurts. No, so you got to get up and hit the shower.
Hmm.
And I just thought the same thing the other morning when he's like, I'm like, no, bro, you got to get up. Let's go. Let's go. We got to go. You know, but if your stomach's hurting that bad, I'm taking you to the doctor.
Right.
Well, okay, let me get up. But you know, I heard a thing I seen a thing on TikTok, bro, and I ain't gonna lie, I will never forget it. And where this guy, he had got released out of prison. He had a note in his hand. You may have seen it. And he's like, how do we expect our children to go to school and act right, act bright, and take in everything when we're yelling at them? Hey, get up, get up, get your clothes on, get up. We're cussing at them. We're being very stern with them, and getting them up out of bed, getting them out the door. How do we expect them to have a good day when they're already rattled? Man, and I ingested that because I had as a drill sergeant.
That's what I was going to say.
Get up, blah, let's execute, bam, bam, bam. Yeah. So, man, I had to do a self-examination. And if I can do a self-examination at 50 something, that's a parent, and reflect on, man, damn, that makes sense. I'm rattling this kid. And how the hell do I expect him to have a good day? First thing I'm doing is roof. So I changed it. And I was like, hey, back, Brandon, get up, son. All right, it's time to get up. He gets up. Once he hits the shower, I already know this because we got a battle with him. Once he hits the shower and that, then he starts waking up. All right, I'll still sit his clothes out. Just part of that routine. He'll figure, I'm not saying, I mean, you got to hold on to those little things.
Oh man, listen, man, I'm going to explain something to you before you keep going on, right? I was a single parent to my son for his last few years of high school. I had to get him. You know what I mean? Like you said, we the most important. And what I would do to get that back right now, though, I miss waking up to him or waking up to one of my kids or to a kid. Right now, I feel like I could be the best parent in the world right now in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So everything you're saying, I'm over here visualizing because I was doing the same thing. I remember being a drill sergeant. I never been to the military to my son. I used to remember my son do push-ups so he could put his arms down tight. So when he went to the military, he was used to that. He was already, he called me, Dad, I'm so glad you had me doing that. But yeah, man, you're exactly right, man. I just wish that other men out here, you know, really get to feel that though. What it feel to be something important to a child, because we are. We, from what I'm seeing, we're not getting the respect in our community as being a man no more.
Right.
I don't know why our women preach that, single. I don't need a man attitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. When the most important thing in the world is to combine both of us.
What happens is our men. Let me hit the men piece first. Is they were not shown that emotion from their daddy because the daddy was not even maybe not here in jail. Blah blah blah. So they haven't tapped into that emotion. Now they have this first kid. They might even make it to the hospital. Do you? Do you get there to take that shirt off and go skin to skin with that newborn young man?
Right.
Those are those kind of things that, so somewhere it has to be implemented. So the females, the women get told by or experience that, this man, that man in our mama's life, no stability. Then they become mamas and they see these same men because they fell into what they said they wasn't going to fall in. And then they're there because I've seen it. I've seen it work in this community for almost, what was I here? 27, 28 years. I've seen generations.
Yeah.
So now when these young cats get in trouble, I ask who their mama is. Because they're that young. Who's their daddy? Or who's their grandparents? Not now.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, I think there's a whole cycle, man, that has to be broke.
Mm.
And if we had the key to that, you and I'd be self-sustaining billionaires.
That's right. You're exactly
We
right.
had the answer.
Yeah.
But I think the answer is very simple. Uh, Men got to pull your bootstraps up, become a man, or quit laying down with these women. Women, quit accepting less than what the hell your expectations are. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, it's true though.
You know,
It's true. It's true. But you know what though? Something else. Once women start laying down with multiple different men, then their expectations done dropped along.
they have dropped.
You see what I mean?
They have dropped.
And then they start to have babies. It's more and more farther down. You know what I mean? So when they expecting a high value man that's coming in and want to save the day, but you already got 4 kids tagging along behind you and several
Yeah.
different baby daddies.
I mean, who wants that headache?
Who
Let's
wants
be
it?
real.
You know, yeah.
I think a man will take a woman with 1, 2, 3 in a possible.
Yeah.
Three
Yeah.
impossible. But
Yeah.
she's got to. And I'm telling ladies. I mean, you can write and say I'm full of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you get that man, a man like me, because I know what kind of man I am,
Right. Tenfold. Yeah.
I will spoil your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you better spoil him and take care of him
Oh man.
because he understands he's taking on you. He's taking on the package.
You know what? I know some women that don't even understand that. I know women that have told me that you don't got to worry about them. That's impossible.
That is impossible.
You know, you just knocked out 90% of who I am if
Right.
I don't got to worry about them.
Right.
Why would I come in and do power but can't tell your kid to sit down? Yeah.
Fact.
I just had this cover. That's wild that you say that because it's true. You got to take care of me,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And if you ain't taking care of me, it's hard for me to come in and take care of this
Oh,
house.
guarantee.
It'll never work. It'll never work. But you know what else I noticed that? It will always be the man's fault.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to
Yeah.
me. Like, no accountability.
No accountability. So you look at the Hispanic culture and other cultures outside of, let's talk specific,
Mm-hmm.
Black American culture.
Mm-hmm.
See, those women, those mamas have taught them that, you know, quick, what women got a quick thing about, I ain't been no submissive to no man. Yeah, you are.
Mm,
You just don't realize how you been submissive.
that's true.
But just make it be obvious. It's been submissive, yes, because I mean the Bible's said if that man has been a man, I
Mm-hmm,
get it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what is that a problem? If you submit to men, men are simple. We're actually simple
Oh, we
creatures.
are, man. We
Very
are.
simple.
Yes,
Uh,
that's true.
Not complicated.
Not at all.
Just ask for love, loyalty, and respect.
Yeah.
I mean,
For real.
you know,
It's this
if a man is doing what he's supposed to do, he's your king.
right.
If you're as a woman doing what you're supposed to be doing, he's your queen,
That's
or you're his.
his queen.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah. But
it's simple.
I know a lot of women don't feel like they got to do nothing. I know a lot of women don't feel like they, especially women that got kids.
But they say they want this.
It's unreal. It's unreal. That's just bizarre to me. You know what I mean? For real, for real. Education. You know, I feel like at least 2 hours out of your day should go to your kids, especially in elementary school.
Yeah, elementary, and plus it's easier. It's easy for us at that level. We can be teachers.
Yes,
Now my son
exactly.
is 13 now, bro.
Yeah, I'm not doing his work.
Man, I don't
Let's get
even
the
get
tutor.
it. Here's what I tell him. Hey man, did you understand the block of instruction? And he's like, well, no, not really, because he be spouting us, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, you need to get with your teacher.
Yeah.
And you know what? His expectation in math, in my expectation is just give me a C. A C is
Yeah.
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like math. But what you gotta know is add,
And
subtraction,
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
multiply, division,
Mm-hmm.
and percentages. Percentages, I say, because hell, if I see something that's 37% off, how much money do I know? How do I get that equation
That's right.
to know how much I can take off?
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Algebra, I took, trying to get my degree, man, I took it 3 times. It didn't wrap in my head.
Mm-hmm.
30 years law enforcement, I ain't use algebra yet. 27 years of army, I ain't use algebra yet.
Yeah. I use
So
algebra
it's
yet.
useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
But education and our kids aren't even going to freaking school. That's the
Right.
problem, bro.
Right. And they're not. Yeah.
If you cannot, now I'm hard on reading. I
Oh
am.
yeah, definitely.
You can,
Yeah.
you can, if you can't read, people will get up on you.
So will. They sure will.
You know.
Yes.
But I think that level of education, reading, college, going to college, doctors, lawyers, specialized things are yes.
Mm-hmm.
Going to college for
A trade? No. I see the
all
same
college
thing.
shows is maybe you had the discipline to go to class,
Right.
execute.
Right. Right.
That was my experience,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I went to school with like 47.
Yeah. I
So
just finished school too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I told myself I wasn't gonna go complete the degree though. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was for nothing. Man, I can't just sit in there and be sitting in there all day.
Right.
And yeah, but I do. I feel like our kids should be more on learning a trade.
Learn the trade.
Yeah, because if you can work with your hands,
Bro, I'm that guy. I'm telling you, my
mhm.
first car tear up. I ain't getting nothing there trying to figure it
You
out
see
because
what I
can't
mean?
figure it out because that's not how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah.
I'm paying somebody.
No doubt. And me, I don't like to get dirty, so I'm paying somebody.
Guy lays concrete.
You see what I'm saying?
Cat painted my
Yeah,
house,
yeah.
right? So I'm not just because my mind's not wired like that. I'm
Right.
not saying I can't do it because
No
I
doubt.
couldn't make myself do it, but
Right.
it's gonna be
Right.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know my limitation mechanical stuff. When my oldest son, Christmas, I tried to put a power wheel together,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled out the instruction. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking. My brain just didn't get it.
Yeah. No.
So I understand.
Yeah. Me
But
too.
yes,
Yeah.
these guys who can, and that's where the system's not set. Again, the system is there to make money. Criminal justice system,
Yes, man. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
because they could institute. Well, first of all, you need to institute a program that makes it very uncomfortable
Mm,
to want to go to prison.
right. Right.
Your ass should be up at 05 eating chow,
Yeah.
out the door on a work crew by 06, and it
Mm,
ain't your choice. It's
mm,
out here humping, cutting these weeds down, clearing these roads.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shit should not be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but it is comfortable because it's a money making organization.
So it is. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You know, it seems like our people do wear it with a badge of honor, which is the most detrimental thing in the world to make people feel like you ain't a man unless you went to prison.
well, this guy ain't went to prison,
Well, I hated I went. I went one time
but your
and never did it.
circumstance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This guy didn't go because I was like, "There's no women.
None. That's what kept me from going back.
What am I gonna do?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they hit you up a lot though as an officer though. You get a lot of girlfriends.
Did I have a lot of opportunities?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I
because
believe it
women
though.
did like that
Uniform,
that uniform,
authority.
that swag.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I learned a long time ago. The badge will get you some booty,
yeah.
but that booty could get your damn badge.
That's true. Ooh, that's true.
So, I was in this thing for the
Oh,
long haul.
yeah,
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to get two retirements going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Definitely.
So,
Yeah,
the temptation
yeah.
was,
It was like that,
there was a lot.
huh? I believe it though.
Yeah, there
You
was a
know, they
lot.
used to say a lot about you though.
You know,
Yeah, and some of the kids must be old.
that Chris feature is very prominent.
That's funny.
It is very prominent. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, a lot of a lot of girls on the street they flirt on.
yeah, yeah.
But
I bet you seen a lot of stuff though, for real. Especially
yeah.
people that was trying to avoid going to jail too, though. Especially in women, offering you all kind of little something, something, so like that. I believe it.
Oh, when certain cast was gone, bro.
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah. I
And
believe it, man.
then
I believe it, man. I
it
believe
was
it. I can imagine. I can imagine. Imagine if podcasting was out then and y'all get to show, what I mean, just like they do now. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But hippie was
But hey,
totally
that was some
different,
of the
man.
best. Instead of engaging in illicit conduct,
Uh-huh.
they just become great sources of information for me on the street.
I believe it. I believe it.
Because
Yeah.
if you like me,
Yeah. they'd be more willing to
Yeah,
just give you conversation
yeah,
about, yeah,
yeah.
no doubt, yeah. Plus, a lot of people really wanted to clean their streets up anyway,
They
though,
really
and a lot of
do.
people
Yeah.
didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't ever really get mad at nobody
No.
for anything that happened out there like that because I understood, especially now as a grown man. You know, I don't want none of my elderly aunts and grandmothers out there around dumb stuff either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when you said that a few minutes ago, it was like I could see that because that's how I feel now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying my best to grab these kids, man, that's out here with these machine guns. You know what I mean? What is how y'all even getting them? You know what I mean?
It's kind of shocking because after I got out of the game, I started kind of seeing all this crime and
Mm-hmm.
violent crime. I'm like, how's that happen?
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's
And I had a
almost.
problem with it because I spent a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to have this community up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you ain't gonna stand on the block without getting some attention
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear your name. I'm gonna hear what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if I just needed to spend the whole 8 hours a day walking with you up and down the sidewalk, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Or I come sit in your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, to hear these cats who are cousins and who are kin to one another out here just shooting all these choppers. I
Yeah.
mean, these boys ain't
Yeah.
playing with no 22s.
No.
Boys
No.
going with some more big guns.
Yes. Yeah. It almost sounds just like it was in the crack area. How did it get here?
Well, of course, it's an implementation by those. Again, I do believe of higher level
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's obvious though.
because we
You know
don't
what I'm
have
saying?
poppy fields in America. There's
No,
not
man.
environment to
Exactly
we can't
right.
we can't grow a poppy field.
Impossible. It's
You know?
impossible. You know that I don't, well, I'm pretty sure you have heard of Rick Ross.
Yeah.
The real Rick Ross though, from California. You know he out of prison now. And he telling this story. And this story was how the US government
Mm-hmm.
really was bringing from South America to him. You know, he wasn't ever supposed to go to prison for it. It
Right.
was only whenever the shutdown really came that he had to be the fall guy. And the only reason why he's telling this story now, though, same thing that happened with Frank Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Government having them bring it over here. Everybody getting kickbacks off of it.
Everybody be
You know,
getting kickbacks, man.
but the main thing was, as long as you keep it in this area,
Yeah.
that was the
But see,
bad part.
part of their plan, they been the powers that be to implement institutions. It was just because we were rising up as a people and getting stronger
Yeah,
as a nation.
right,
So we got to put them in their place. And
right.
how do we do that? Well, we got civil rights now, so we can't beat them. Oh, let's put dope in.
Mm-hmm.
So now you had affluent neighborhoods with this, but they didn't think it was ever going to go across the track.
No.
So then it went across the track. Then it got their attention.
So statistically, um, there always have been drug abusers, even with pharmaceuticals. You know, I mean, from research, reading, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, no European country wanted the white American that's here.
Right.
So they had to find them somewhere to go because they was want to do away with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and because of Phantom, all of that they was causing.
Right.
Same thing coming off in America. Nobody talks about it, but I understand where Trump is coming from too,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not having kids as fast as they dying off.
Right.
You know,
They're
and
not
it's not
reproducing.
just that's right. They're not reproducing fast enough.
Right.
That's why they want to get rid of abortion clinics and stuff like that, where
Mm-hmm.
you can't have an abortion at a certain amount of time. Which I can understand that though.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, really and truly though, I only feel like abortion should be only illegal for certain reasons. You know, for real, for real.
For real, for real.
But I think also this,
It
and I
shouldn't
just
be
want
used as a form of birth control.
that's exactly right. But I'm gonna ask you this, in your opinion, right? If a woman has the right to say she don't want the baby and can do that, why is it that men can't have the right to be like, I don't want to have that kid? And if you had a kid, I told you I didn't want to have it. Why do I got to go to prison for it?
Damn, that's a slippery slope.
Hmm?
I mean, I think we're just the depositors in the bank. So that
It is
you
though,
know what I'm
because
saying?
everything is against the man.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
is against the man,
yeah.
regardless. Even like if you go into a big drug dealer house, right? Usually they take the men. Well, if you know he got 100 keys in here and y'all just pulled out $300,000, you ain't gonna take the woman
Right.
either. You know, I ain't trying to say that women should go to prison out of
No,
this,
but
but it's weird to me. You know, why is it only men that get the butt of every end? Is it because we are protectors?
I think
We,
so.
you
Yeah.
know, that's weird, man. And that ain't even no color base. That's in every culture.
In every
They will go
culture.
after the man first. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's unreal to me. But yeah, I just always wondered that. Like women can say they don't want to have a kid and can kill it.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man say, "Oh, I thought you said you couldn't get pregnant until you had one of them
Right.
kids," you stuck with him.
Yeah, and he ain't got a
Say
dog in
no.
the fight on the
Ain't that
decision.
wild?
Yeah.
That's just unreal to me. You know, a lot of men get trapped off like that. You know what I mean? So I be trying to tell kids, let's go to the NBA or college basketball, football. Don't have sex until after you get your finances right.
Yeah,
Because
but
there's a
it's
chick.
take a bite of that apple and you ruin.
Ain't it?
Not ruin,
Yeah, yeah.
ruin.
That's true.
You
That
know.
is true, though.
I mean,
That's true.
that
It's
first
true. Yeah, that's it. That
star
done it.
you see,
That done it.
you
That's
done it.
you chasing that
Chase,
high.
chase.
That's true. That is true, man. Shoot. So man, how you you know, just in general, man, how you been though? Let's just
Hey man, I'm well. I had a little medical bout for about 2 years,
uh,
diverticulitis.
uh,
Uh, and it wasn't because, and another thing for black men, I'm glad you asked that. It wasn't because I don't take care of myself. I
uh,
mean, I work out. I don't run anymore. I don't need to, but I cycle, keep
right.
good cardio.
All right.
I work out at least 3 days a week, play golf every day a week if it's nice. Not that I'm good, but at least
No
I'm
doubt.
out there
No
getting
doubt.
some exercise. But, you know, so I get health checkups. I get an annual physical. I get the
Okay.
blood draws. You got men that I ain't getting no prostate exam. I ain't want nobody to, bro. That and colon cancer,
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure stuff that's very preventable. I just hate to die from something that could have been very
Mm-hmm.
preventable.
Mm-hmm.
As black men.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Cause I'm one of them. You just everything you just named. I don't say it. You know what I mean? For real. But I keep hearing that even from black men how important it is. You know what I mean? For real.
I mean,
Yeah.
to get an annual physical, get the whole blood
Yeah.
test run because, but just to die because, dang, he's got prostate, but
Mm-hmm.
early detection if he will
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to the symptoms. I'm telling
Right.
you, your body tells you
It does.
when it's in distress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I fought through that. It didn't slow me down. Uh, I had my surgeries, had to wear a colostomy bag for a
Mm-hmm.
while, still PT,
Mm-hmm.
still play golf because it's the mental mindset that you have
Mm-hmm.
to adapt. And because we've been through so much shit in life,
Mm-hmm.
that I take those and make sure that I do have a strong mind
Mm-hmm.
to push through,
Mm-hmm.
those bad days because there's a lot of bad days, but
Right.
there's also a lot of good days,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so, but yeah, man, just having fun, enjoying.
Well, shoot, you can't beat that though. Shoot, right? You know, having fun is the key though. That's a part of the retirement life that everybody want
Well,
to get
I'm
to.
glad I seen something that like, when I got out of the military, I did go back in the reserves about 6 years later. And I
Mm.
say that was probably one of the smartest decisions I made.
Oh yeah.
And I went back in because I kind of got
Boy.
missing it.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then the camaraderie. And also I was like, yeah, you know what? I could not work as much off duty. I can
Mm-hmm.
just,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little extra income coming in. And, of course, then after 9/11, it was a whole different scenario. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it
Mm-hmm.
was boots on the ground, hard charging for a
Right.
long time.
Right. Let me ask you a question, right? You know, and this is just well, nah, it's gonna because you said 9/11, right? Do you ever think that sometimes we or this government might end up doing things, cause something to get everybody on the same path of yeah, we for an agenda that they have, and we all walk our way right into it. Sort of like the COVID thing, right?
Right.
We didn't really have experts telling us nothing because if we really look at it, when they came up with these vaccines, it was entirely too fast.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but everybody, when I was saying, everybody in a straight line, walking straight into it. You know what I mean? Like,
Not this guy.
not me either. You know.
Because I knew in the Army for my whole career, one of the emphasis of training that was standardized Army wide was NBC training. That's nuclear biological chemical training. And there
Oh.
was always that emphasis,
Hmm.
on that. We did that once a year. Mop suit, which is a charcoal suit and it's funny how the biological chemical, all
Hmm.
it takes is New York. New York's the center city.
Yeah.
And y'all, I ain't a damn conspiracy. I'm a common
Right.
sense.
No doubt.
You take a biological chemical, which is only in a valve,
Hmm.
one of those little teardrop valve.
Hmm.
You drop it. You drop it in New York subway system. Notice it took just a little bit of time to get to North Carolina, but it started in New York.
Hmm.
The harshest cases are there.
Hmm.
So now, because New York is a portal for all over the
Sure
country
is.
and all
Yeah.
over the world.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and it's funny how this guy who invented or whatever mysteriously died, and so that definitely was. I don't. It wasn't by the U.S. government. I
Right.
truly
Yeah. I don't
feel
feel
my
like
heart.
I don't feel like.
I truly feel the Chinese government
Hmm.
implement that biological chemical. I
Hmm.
will.
Right.
I'll believe it
Yeah.
forever. We did not know how to react to it.
Hmm. Right.
And I think the nation reacted the best it could get a handle. I've taken, I don't know how many, vaccines for deployment,
Hmm.
going to school, going to army. These things were tested, tried, tested, and true
Right.
before they were ever put on
Right. Exactly. That's
the
what I.
public. And when they
Right.
was talking about this shit, I was like, I am not their guy,
No, not at all.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and now people are having ill effects,
Yes.
but they will not acknowledge certain ill effects, or because they're just not going to say, oops.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah, I think
Which
it
is
was,
true.
in 9/11, we were our borders were really slack. I mean, just our airports, we didn't have
Hmm.
TSA, bro.
Yeah.
Before
No.
9/11,
Right. Right.
you go to the airport,
Hmm.
you go through it wasn't even, I don't even remember going through nothing hard.
Right.
I know I could got
Right.
knives on the plane.
Yeah.
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 So I don't think,
Hmm.
me personally,
Hmm.
think that uh, our government was so entwined that it staged a disaster to kill all those American citizens. Because you touch somebody.
Do you know who Henry Kissinger is?
Hmm? Former ambassador.
So you do know that Henry Kissinger wrote a memo saying to do half of the stuff that's going on right now for population control.
Now, some of this, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
9/11 thing, I'd have to see, like, no shit.
Yeah. No doubt.
We're going to kill American. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just have to
No
see that.
doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
Because, um, I've been distant lands, and I'm
Right. Yeah. No
telling you,
doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
you can say what you want.
So you don't feel like this is the dumping ground for the undesirables?
It is now.
Okay, okay, word yeah, for
Oh, it is
real.
now.
It really is, ain't it?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that this administration really do start getting out what we don't really need here. You know what I mean?
I think this administration. I wish he quit saying three great things and then something dumb.
Yeah,
But
no doubt. Yeah, I understand.
is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
But as far as I got a buddy that's a ATF,
Uh huh.
and they're really happy about how things are
Hmm.
going back to the way it should be, a
Right. Exactly.
lockstep.
No doubt.
Because the past administration, I don't care. Again, I'm independent,
Yeah.
so I talk shit about
Yeah.
both of
Yeah.
them.
No doubt. Yeah.
I talk shit about who ain't doing what they supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it was like anything and everything go, and
Hmm.
everything's cool, and we
Hmm.
just want you to like us.
Right. Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
these
But
other
why not doing
countries,
nothing for you? Yeah.
truly despise. You live in the best, the absolute best. And I've been
Hmm.
to Korea.
Right.
I've been to Honduras.
Hmm. Hmm.
We get those immigrants here.
Sure do. Yeah.
They weren't trying to, those immigrants weren't trying to come in here in 88,
No.
99.
No. You're
Okay.
right. Hmm.
I've been in Afghanistan.
Hmm.
I've been in Kyrgyzstan. I've been in, damn, where else have I been? Kind of in there for a hot minute.
Hmm.
But
I heard Germany was somewhere great.
yeah, yeah. I only got to hang out in there for a hot
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a
You
lot
know
of
what I'm saying?
people rather that'd be the other place they'll go to.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
But really living the greatest nation
Yeah, I
on
mean, but I
earth.
believe it, and that's what I
Yeah,
wanted to go back to. I can believe that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The only problem is the people. You know, it's like
Well,
everybody.
they the other country you can't talk shit
You sure can't.
because
You're
the
right.
government's gonna come knock you on the door and
Sure.
drag
Yeah.
your ass
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. 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 And
Uh,
ain't no freedom of
and when
speech like
people
that.
talk like I can't stand America, we'll leave. I mean, literally, you have a choice to leave.
That's right.
Make sure you got your passport because they have immigration and border protection, and
Right.
they take it very seriously.
Right.
So
Right.
why shouldn't we?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I don't get it,
So
man.
what they don't realize is, you know, the folks who are out here, the lawn care business doing that,
Hmm.
they ain't touching. What you don't realize is there's a lot of SIR 13, MS 13,
Hmm.
cartel.
Hmm.
They have a list.
Hmm.
We're not stupid.
Yeah.
We have an intel file and your ATFs and your HSI and all these guys. There is a database.
Right.
The past administration put handcuffs on these guys.
Hmm.
You got a lot of violent
Oh yeah. Yep.
offenders, illegal immigrants,
Hmm.
aliens, whatever the hell you want to call them,
Hmm.
in this country.
Right.
That's whose ass is going.
Yeah.
You're getting hooked up,
Hmm.
and if you got warrants, they're going to be served, and you're going to stand justice in this country. Then after you get released, now you're
You're
going
gonna
to
sit
get
back.
deported.
Yeah.
Now, right now, you know, if you get a DWI and you get locked up in county jail, it's probably the time you want to do it. You want to do that to pass administration because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
the ICE detainers are back in full force
Yeah.
in effect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you are a good citizen, or not citizen, but immigrant living in the country, doing helping the economy, blah blah blah. But
Right.
you go out here and you get drunk, you get this DWI.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't going to get out because
No.
ICE is coming to get you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the past administration just kind of like, well, we're not going to put detainers on people, and that's a fact.
It would.
It's
Man, I
a
could
fact.
not believe when I was hearing that.
It's a fact.
It really
And
was.
if you're not in that kind of that law enforcement arena
You're right.
circle,
You're right.
you don't really
Right.
understand because
Hmm.
it's just not out
Right. But ain't that their job though?
there. Yeah.
How was they getting hindered from doing their job? Let me tell you what.
For votes, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. And what's wild is whenever the infiltration started happening really bad on a mass scale, they was talking a lot about these Venezuelan peoples up north just taking over whole housing projects and nothing happening. Did not believe it. Kind of made me feel like we was at war.
You got to understand, those folks have seen war.
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
they've seen war little, so it doesn't bother them to come in and massacre and take over. It
That's
just doesn't
right.
bother them.
That's right.
We haven't seen that shit
And
here.
that we don't. That's
So,
just it.
when you talk about SIR 13, El Salvador and San Salvador,
Uh-huh.
when they were youngsters, now they are
Adults.
adults, bro.
Hmm.
They've seen the carnage. So
Yeah.
that's why it's not hard for them to do what they
Right,
do.
right. We don't just see bodies just dropping like that and gunfights and you know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
That's why I said I felt like we was at war.
Mhm.
You know, it's different. You know, and nothing was happening. Uh, we needed ICE to come.
Need ice coming.
Get
Uh,
them.
no, our country operates off of law and order. Now, is
Sure
law fair
does.
to everybody? No.
Hmm.
Life ain't fair, and it ain't going to be fair.
Right.
It's who you know,
Yep.
it's your connects,
Yep.
it's this, that, and the third. There's a whole lot of shit to go in fairness.
Right.
But I'm just keeping it real,
That's true. That's true.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's true. It's a part of the American society.
Hmm.
You know, all the thing I can say is just everybody just keep your shirt tails in, tucked in right. You know, keep your shoulders square. You know what I mean? Be a man about yours, man. It's time to change up this whole atmosphere anyway, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All that gangster stuff that's old is played out. Now it's time to start being who we really are. You know
Because
what I
the
mean?
ones who portrayed the gangsta on TV, bro, they ain't never really lived. They are not currently living in the hood. I
Yeah,
promise you.
I promise you that too.
Where's Jay-Z live? I bet you ain't in the
I
hood.
bet you not. I bet you not.
Where Lil Wayne living?
Uh,
I guarantee you it ain't where Fourth Ward
I
in New
guarantee
Orleans. I mean,
at
look,
all. Yes, for sure. Yeah,
they
yeah,
got their jump off. They got that first check. They got
yeah,
their mom and them up out
yeah,
of there,
yeah,
bro. Ain't
yeah.
that the goal?
Yeah, it is exactly right. But I think that is, nobody should, put their uh, whole community under siege for $1. You know, that's
Right.
why I think everything went wrong at is that they glorified the wrong stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that if it was more of us glorify how smart and intelligent we are as people and how strong. Okay, I just had to tell somebody a couple of days ago, right, on Facebook that I don't feel like this administration is doing anything to hurt us. Nothing.
Right.
Right? We never really benefited from anything that was supposed to be from us anyway. It was everybody else that done it. And this administration know that. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they're like, you know what, let's just stop. It can't hurt us. We ain't using it
We ain't
anyway.
using it,
You
bro.
know what I mean? I said, but what really did hurt us, and I just want your opinion. You know, this is a good rebuttal right
Right.
here. I think Martin Luther King did one of the worst things in the world was have a dream so we'll give up on everything that we had established to join people that really didn't want us to be a part of their establishment anyway. We didn't need it. We had it
We
all.
didn't need.
We had our bus lines. We had our own hospitals, schools. We was actually we showed that we didn't need it, and I think that because he wanted to cross lines, we just followed because he was intelligent,
Right.
smart. Looked at him as a leader, and we jeopardized everything that we had built.
But do you think his dream was for equity, for, and when you listen to it, for us all to live as a true pastor preaching the word of God, that we miss that nowadays? And that's a whole nother topic.
It is. It is.
You know,
It is. Yeah.
these pimps in the
Mhm.
pulpit,
Yeah, that's exactly
and
right.
these prosperity preachers, these who don't just preach because I'm just saying. You
It's
can
true.
hate me now. I don't care. I don't work for nobody and I'm
I know
independent.
that. I know that's right. I know that's
So
right. Yeah,
what
definitely.
I can speak is what I see.
No
But
doubt.
I think him trying to, I think that there was many who took the simple dream and the simple vision to make it their agenda.
Mm,
And then they would sell out at any cost. Whereas if I'm in the position, like there's a lot of things that I did in the military, and there's a lot of things I did police wise, because if I talk to you, and I talk to many
mhm,
that were interested in being law enforcement, like not like I think I felt like I got done, but I'd be like, okay, man, what's up? I mean, you want to do it? And then I go talk to the boss
mhm,
and say, hey, I got this guy, this that military, and he got hired. Well, there's a couple got hired, and you know, whatever they did, blah blah blah. But
mhm,
I did my part by trying to lift another.
mhm, mhm,
You
mhm,
know what I'm saying?
mhm.
To
Right. Right. Bring them in.
bring them
Right.
in.
Mhm.
Uh, and I did. Yeah, I'm a loyal dude. I tell you what, I potentially, I ain't gonna say damaged my career, but I slowed some forward progression down because I'm a loyal dude. And
Right.
I took there was a situation, you know, his brother was, and yeah, I'm loyal.
Yeah.
And that dude knows to this day.
No
He
doubt.
knows.
Yeah.
Um,
If I could
but he's
depend
still
on,
fucked.
you know,
I don't know. He's
yeah.
still done some dumb shit on some other shit that
Yeah.
like,
No
wow,
doubt.
bro.
Like, yeah, I stuck my neck out and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's okay because
No
I can
doubt.
look in the mirror every day and know that you know
Right. You
I'm
have some integrity
yeah,
about
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
build you up, man. I'm not turning you down. If I ain't got nothing
Right.
good to say about you, I ignore you.
Yep. Exactly right.
You know,
Yep.
and I don't hate on you because you're doing better. Tell me how
Mhm.
you got there
Yep.
so I can do better. Help
Yep.
me out.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I understand where you're coming from with that too. At the same time, I even felt like there was some friends that I felt like were friends. That's how I first out there there was no such thing as friends. There's no loyalty amongst thieves.
There it is. No, I could have told you that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But
wouldn't have gave you
I'm gonna tell you who
the
I am
truth.
though. I'm hands on.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I
yeah, yeah,
learned. I
yeah.
learned hands on, and it took you know what I mean for that to happen to me at
Hmm.
16 to realize I ain't ever doing that again. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
likewise, the same thing. People think cops is a tight organization, bro.
Mm,
And no, it ain't.
yeah.
There is some.
You know, a lot of people look at police as is the number one gang in America.
I mean, it is in a hot
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
where yo, I'm getting shot at. I'm calling for help. Oh yeah, you shit, you
Uh
get.
huh.
But after that,
Uh huh.
nah, it ain't outside of that major. event that happens, man, there's so much backstabbing and oh, bro,
I was watching a podcast
crazy.
Of some guys that up north, New York. Like 12 guys came out to talk about or tell that there's a bunch of them in there that's criminals.
Oh, they cats used to hate on me because people knew me in the neighborhood.
Oh man.
You know, there was a lot now. I pull up the pretty hostile scene. And get it. Either by arresting your ass out of there if you the problem, or just by you know. Oh man, that was a lot of hate, bro. But you didn't put in the time I put in to, a lot of you guys that played on my ball team, you didn't stay kids forever. You became grown. Whatever you were doing, you always remembered that. You see what I'm saying? Your mom and them always remember that. So when things went awry, so there's a lot of hate.
I believe it. I believe it though. You know what I mean? Because that's in every aspect of the game of life. No matter what type of even if you going to medical school to, like you said, prison. It's gonna always be, turmoil. Definitely. Man, is there anything out here, man, you would like the people to know of? You want to get off your chest?
And I just want to see these kids take advantage, and I know they have to have the environment to do it, but education, there's countries and been in the countries where if you wasn't a rich part of the establishment, you didn't go to school, you worked the field. And there's places like that today, and we were not too long ago because with the Supreme Court ruling on Brown versus Board of Education, for us to get equal education and again that was education was important, reading, writing, arithmetic.
Right.
And now you got kids that like them jokers stop going to school at like 6th grade.
Yeah.
Bro, you barely know your ABCs by then, so I know damn well you can't read.
Right.
So I just don't know where we're just going to keep continuously turning out illiterate and ignorant children if something doesn't happen and those children become adults, and then we have a vicious cycle. So where does it stop?
It's getting worse.
It's
getting worse.
So
you just said, not just said, but not too long ago, you were saying how the grandparents is passing off. It's getting bad, man. It's getting really bad because you cannot tell this next generation nothing.
And then you got the grandmas at the age of want to go to the club with 16-year-old teen, and so
they in there.
Can't ever condone wrong behavior.
That's true.
Because you look like an ass clown.
Yes. Yeah.
You look like an ass clown. When you're going into the school yapping and your child is the one who's created disturbance, and you're going in to defend wrong, then your credibility is zero. So just remember that.
Yeah.
Remember, you have no credibility. Because when you walk out that door, they're going to be talking about how stupid you acted.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it never gives your kid any benefit. Because then people just look at one another and be like, oh, I know why he is.
That's right. Yes. So I done witnessed that before. You know what I mean? I see exactly why he or she act like that. You can't.
I went to school to defend my son, but I defend him in an articulate way, and I throw out a little bit of hood shit just to let them know, don't get this proper vernacular mixed up like
Yeah, I'm a pushover or something.
Right, because you what you do is shock their brain and get their listening back on you to what you're saying is important in defending your child. Although his actions may be wrong, but there were certain protocols you failed to execute.
Right.
So always be an advocate for your child, but be able to be an articulate advocate, because nobody's. Just think about people. I'm saying this to y'all. If somebody is yelling at you about something, are you listening?
No.
Now flip that script. If you're yelling, let's say at a school administration, you're yelling, talking crap to them. Do you think they're listening to anything you're saying?
Nothing at all.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, there y'all go. I mean, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this segment, man. It's been really good, man. We're gonna have retiree Officer Chris on.
I'm gonna leave a little bit of word of advice for everyone out there. It ain't even an advice; it's just really something that I think that everybody should know that it's time to start pulling together, man, and start really being a family. Family doesn't mean that we got the same blood. Family means that we all gonna respect each other, cherish each other, and start doing right by each other. In due time, we all will be able to rise above all the turmoil that we all are going and we facing. But until then, next time, I'll holler.